16 of the National Football League. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He's your top dog in the league this season, ranking first in passing yards. It's the Eagles and the Giants, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Well, straight ahead, we've got a rematch from last year's NFC divisional matchup, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and a Merry Christmas to everyone out there watching. Thanks for joining us on this special day. Partner, Merry Christmas to you, and what an afternoon of football we should have in store here. Two great rivals in the NFC East doing battle here in Week 16.
And how many times have they gotten together and big stakes were out there for either team? I remember way back when Philadelphia had to beat the Giants twice and ended up going on and winning an NFL championship that season.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. Sheds off the tackle. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes and MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll start on the ground with Swift. That pass the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Finds the open target, Arnold. Down the right sideline. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
Big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Here's a toss play right to Swift. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift with a touchdown under 20 on the year. And the Eagles need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Giants ready to go now on offense, and under center is the man in possession of a new contract for 2023 and beyond. In his 5th season now, Daniel Jones.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. You look at this Eagle defense. They were terrific a week ago in the road in Seattle.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave him 7 sacks last week. And if things...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good. They have jumped out here to a 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 62 yards.
As always, priority number 1 for them is to secure the win this week. But priority number 2, this guy right now who is 6th in the...
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
This is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. On the return is Ward. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one. And I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
3rd and 4. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They begin with a run by Barkley.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Throwing Jones.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. This to Arnold on the short pass. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. They run out of the gun with Swift.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
And with that run, he's already at 100 yards here before halftime. So if he sees the same kind of action in the second half, he could be on his way to a career game.
2nd down and 4. Once again, it's Swift.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
112 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that they don't start to slow him down. It's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
He'll drop this one off to Swift.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down.
Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The possession switching back to the New York Giants. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's when they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Eagles offense is going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run here with Swift. Now he's loose again.
And he gets it all the way down to the frame. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Bijan Robinson, a touchdown run in the victory. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Najee Harris, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Cooper Kupp, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He's up over 100 yards rushing for the game already, and he scored 3 times as well, as they went to him early and often, and with good reason. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22. But that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive.
So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Looking for and finding Arnold once again.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it second and goal.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts.
And this is caught. Touchdown.
Dan Arnold, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles use the short field to get in for 6. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores. Pretty sensible.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 28-0. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
And New York set to take the field.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they want to admit it to themselves. But we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Running again with Barkley on second down.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Hassan Reddick able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. That's taking it around the 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
190 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted.
And the Giants are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses.
Third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for it and just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Dan Arnold, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Eagles have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, the tight ends get a touchdown to really seal this play.
After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
And the Giants ready to come out now.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Here's Jones throwing to start the drive.
And this one too low.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the score. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. They could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Giants.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Fighting to stay upright. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago. So just into that mid-lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now out come the Giants.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tied game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they're going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was a while ago, so just got on to a big lead. It's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. Talk about two sides of the ball for its purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher comes. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50.
A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Running is Swift.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Deontay Banks there on the stop. Here's a 2nd and 5.
At the Giants' 31-yard line.
They'll run here with Swift.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Superior effort on both sides of the ball.
And didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Eagles,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
It's like I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife in the club. We gon' see though, I feel like